I'm live and welcome to Sunday Surgery Live with me, Doctor Lefthandthread. This is your weekly visit to the surgery on a Sunday night. Just one person there, 2 likes already. I don't know how that works, but that's good. I just want to a few more people get on there. Kind of was running the last legs tonight because I was away visiting in-laws and I had to hustle up the road, and then there was a couple of guys came to the surgery for things, so all's good. So only one on so far. We are at 9, I think. It is the full 9 o'clock now too. Yeah, it is 9 o'clock. That's good. Anybody else want to say anything, or will we get on with business? Only 1 minute there. J-Bubs, good man J-Bubs. There's Pat, good man Pat. So a few of the usual guys are here. I'll try and tell you what tonight's about. It's where it sort of was in the description anyway, but maybe who reads that stuff? I don't know. Earlier on this week, I got a bit of criticism on TikTok, which is where you're going to get the criticism. It's TikTok. You probably would get it on Facebook as well, but I don't do the Doctor Lefthandthread thing on Facebook, so not really. I don't have a dedicated page or anything, so I'm unlikely to get slandered in that one. Or get a wee bit of stick or whatever you would call it. I get slagged for, or there was a comment, let's not over dramatize what it was. There was a comment saying you use a Parkside and you fix tools. And addressed that comment on TikTok. There's Big D. Addressed that comment on TikTok and explained why I use this Parkside. Very weak, low cost screwdriver, this 4-volt 2 ampere screwdriver. It's ideal for videos. It's nice and handy. It's ideal for videos, so I'm not going to shear off any nuts or screws with that there. It's very low torque. And if you can out screws in a hurry, you're not going to shear them off. And it's just handy. Yeah, I know you want one, Martin. We'll get you one time, but I haven't seen them on offer since. I haven't seen them in the store since, but I haven't been visiting Lidl enough, to be quite honest with you. So I got criticised for using this for fixing a DeWalt, because DeWalt's considered a professional tool, and this is considered, basically, in some quarters, this is considered a joke. Some of the Parkside stuff ain't good. We know that. We know some of the budget tools ain't good. This here does what it's supposed to, does what I want it to. And I did want a wee weak one because I was using a friend of Milwaukee. And before that, I had been using an impact driver, which is just shears off screws like nothing normal. And tonight's basically about, can you do good work with lesser quality tools? If you're a professional and you're working 6 days a week or whatever, you're working hard with it's very slow. But it gets me to take my time. I'm just a wee bit mad, as you know. But anyway, Titan 2-stroke pack for gardening, good stuff. Some of that petrol stuff, see the petrol stuff that works. If you have a petrol unit that works, it's cheap, it works and it starts and it goes, it's dead on. I have a petrol pressure washer with a Chinesium engine in it, and I'm happy with it. It's not a Honda. It'll never be a Honda, but it's all right. How's gas? But I think it's a very low resolution way of looking at it. Like, I suppose I tried to address it in a video comment that the guy criticised me what I'm up to here. I tell him I'm not really a professional. I'm a weekend warrior. And I just have a mixture of everything. And I just use whatever. But I had my genuine reasons for that. Plus, I have the backup draper, which is also weak. But I was going to do a rundown of all the tools that I use. It's a Chonda. It is a Chonda. Yeah, that's right. There was some very good. A bad petrol machine will break your heart, but say a good cheap one that goes, it starts and goes. There was little Hyundai blowers that were about I don't know if they're still around. Little petrol blowers from Hyundai, and they weren't expensive at all. A few years back, we sold them where I work, and they were brilliant. You built 2 petrol engines today. Good man, guys. Doctors in surgery, every job is electronic. Yeah, branches were broken off trees to catch fish. Yes, that was done. That was part of my childhood. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. I actually cooked them by the riverside and ate them. I cooked brown trout by the riverside and ate them. Lit a bit of a fire and just sort of, yeah, still alive. Didn't kill me. Anyway, so I'm going to give you a rundown of all the gear I use. And, you know, I've done quite a lot for a Mickey Mouse weekend warrior who just doesn't take it too seriously. I'm going to go through each tool and tell you why I have it. And I suppose the thing about it, if I bought the Parkside and said it didn't do the job, I would stop using it. But it's a testament to it that it actually works. The worst kind of cheap tool is the one that doesn't work at all. But this does what it's supposed to. It's very slow, like Big D says. It's very slow. The Draper one is actually faster. It's actually faster. And the Draper one's got torque settings on it, like a drill, you know. Not that you really need them for that low sort of. It's got a swivel handle as well. So, you know, that's not a bad feature. What the Parkside does that the Draper one doesn't have is a range of butts. And here, you know, is this here, you just click on to the next one. But I don't use that because it's far too short for what I'm doing. Plus, them's conventional sort of butts. I don't use conventional butts very often. I'm using torques, security torques mainly. You know, it's just like a bit of a Rubik's Cube or something. There's a bit of a game when you're changing the butts. You keep rolling around like that there. It's like your Dirty Harry or something. Yeah. Did a transplant. Most of the stuff is silly. Is a cheap demo. Aye, it does the job. You know, and you are a professional. You do fix things for your profession, Big D. That's what you do for a living. So, you know, if a professional can use a silly range, you know, why can anybody not use it? I thought it was just a bit funny, you know, that certain people have sort of a low view of certain things and sort of see things as very Parkside's crap all across the board. Milwaukee's good all across the board. They're looking at it very, you know, yeah. You'll figure out, like Pat says, you'll figure out what, yeah. Pat says, you know, you'll figure out what's good and what's bad. Like, we know about the Malif fiasco of a couple of weeks ago. We know all about that. Chief stop, you roll the dice, you know. I have about 3 or 4 Parkside items here tonight that I'm happy with, but they wouldn't work for everybody. If you were tightening screws and your whole thing was just tightening screws all day, that would be too slow. And if you were doing it all day, every day, the little motor would give out too soon. You know, Sabre tools to take part of your bars. Sabre's cheap too, like. It doesn't really matter. I fixed the battery today with this and this and this. That's a screwdriver with a bad point on it, and a pair of pliers. a pair of good Nipex pliers. So, you know, that's what I used. That's all I needed. I didn't need anything else. Yeah. So good given the Bosch 12 volt 15N is given 2 bats and chargers, only 33 quid. Aye, that's a good wee unit there. That's a wee Bosch. It'll be a much better unit than that. And now, if I had the Bosch, I'd probably give this up. But you know, for now, this is good. I just keep using what I have until something better comes along. You know, it's a funny thing. I used the wee cheapy spot welder to realise it just wasn't up to scratch, and then I had to build one. The guy who buys tools from the pound shop and uses them once. He gets what he pays for, that guy. Second hand shop. Oh, who knows. But anyway, my work drill are too big and really too powerful, like, you know. Like, how do you start taking apart tools with like that? You know, even with a torque setting on, you're not going to be using that. It's too cumbersome. Like, even the smaller one, that's the 3-speed. Even the 2-speed, as you know, 2-speed is which is going to be handier. Like, you know, that air or this here. You know, this is not bad. I have used these before. You know. But I just think these wee things are far handier for the small things. Taking the screws out of batteries, the wee 10mm screws. Taking the screws out of the smaller stuff. And the bigger ones, the T20s and things, I use the multi. So what more do I need than that? The multi's much, even though it's from an old iCAD drill, it feels quite good in the hand. You know, it's a good size, good grip on it, and it's not powerful enough, even with the M12 battery on it, to shear off things. And you have the torque settings, of course, too. Yeah, that Bosch seems. I think if I had the Bosch, I'd probably take the place of these two, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I've got these two, so I'm happy enough. Yeah. The question is, can anybody really afford the multi? BW's Electronic. When these go on sale, these are going to be the, you know, when I get the patent sold, can anybody afford them? That's going to be the problem. Anyway, so yeah, that's good chat, guys. Good chat. We're 13 minutes in. Like I say, Parkside works for me. In this case, it's got a little light there. Not that it's up too much. Full repairs, GHDs, and use Bosch. The Bosch is good. And I have this for a backup, because if there's a downside to this one, I would say there's actually two downsides. Two downsides to that one. Two downsides to that one. The magnet in the butt holder is not very strong. And the battery life is, if I'm out here 3 or 4 hours working at stuff, the battery will probably die on me, which is where the backup one comes in. It's got a better light, it's got the torque settings, it's more powerful, it's got a better magnet, and it swivels. I know. It swivels onto a straight thing, maybe like a straight thing. Faster, higher torque. So either, you know, either does the job. They both have their good points and bad points. But, you know, it's good to have the backup one to reach for. And sometimes I'll have the T20 torque sitting in the multi. You know, Amtech, that's similar sort of gear. And I'll have a T10 sitting in the Parkside. And sometimes I'll put a T15 into that. So if I'm doing a bit of a session in the workshop, there's a T15 there. So if I'm doing a bit of a session in the workshop, I know where everything is. The Draper sounds ropey. The Draper's not a wild good tool. Yep. The Draper's bad value for money. That Draper was twice the price of this. Is it twice as good? It ain't. So that's the screen tools that I use to take apart stuff, and that's one's very, very cheap, but good for the price. One's probably not worth the money, you know, when you consider this. But I've sold Draper as well. I know what it's about. I know what Draper's about. It's no better than Parkside. Really. Sometimes it's more expensive than Parkside. And that's the case here. So I have those two. And I have the custom built Milwaukee. To put that into context, what this cost. Yeah. Yeah, good man, J-Bobs. Yep. Makita drills and some of them Makita brush drills will do rightly in the workshop for buzzing screen messing about. I have a couple of them here. They're building up on me. Anyway, HVT's drill mode. The Craftsman will be better than this. Yeah, good. They'll do a nice 10. Aye. We will get them in time, but you know, I started this wacky wee channel years ago. Started posting stuff on YouTube in 2017, and nothing really came of it too much, and it got views, but I wasn't getting paid, and I sort of elapsed it a bit until 2022, 2 years ago, and then sort of got behind it. So, you have the 10.8, I know, that's right, Martin, so you do. But things are going to change, but I do not want to lose what makes my channel my channel. If I am using all fancy stuff, I'm not Doctor Lefthandthread anymore. I'm Dr. Posh, Golden Thread or whatever. I'm Golden Bollocks or whatever you call me. Anyway, I don't know, but this using these cheap things, that's what I am. I just use whatever I can find. Sometimes use good stuff if I have it. So I just use what I have. The channel was kind of coming from an area where NiCad to DeWalt 18 volt. NiCad Makita to DeWalt 18 volt. I'm not sure, Pat. I'm not sure. You can make one. You can make one like this. You can make it the M12 to put out this. But anyway, the challenge come from a place where, well, before at the workshop, the idea was how you could fix things with limited skills, no training, limited resources, very, very basic tools, just somewhere flat to work at it. That was what it was founded on. It got a bit ridiculous that I was fixing stuff outside and top of platforms and top of walls and stuff. So I had to bite the bullet and make the doctor surgery, get the doctor surgery created for me just nearly a year ago now. But I don't want to lose that sense of where I'm coming from, what I'm about. You know, there's too many guys on these platforms that are experts. They know everything. They're geniuses. You know, they're geniuses. They know everything. They've got all the answers. They're the boys you take the advice off. Nobody else knows anything. You know. Yeah. Pat, we'll get her turned around for you. I don't know how. I don't know when, but we'll get her turned around for you, Makita. But I think I need to stay to my roots and stay doing what I'm doing because I want to be accessible to that type of guy who's afraid to take the cover off a drill. He's afraid to open his battery. and I suppose you guys as well, just to have a bit of fun along the way, and still create wacky things like this, and still do these. I'm still well happy with what I did with that Milwaukee vac a couple of weeks back. The conversion, I've never seen that done before. I just ripped out the board. I put a discharge protection board on it, over discharge protection board on it, and geez, Marty. And I don't want to lose that. I want to keep that sense of you never know what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. So this is indicative. There's no piece of equipment that I have that'll sum up what I'm about, like the M12 Milwaukee. And by the way, Pat christened it the Milwaukee, and Pat sent me this hat, so thank you for that again, Pat. Pat gave her the name, and I thought it was a good name, so I kept it. It's under copyright by Doctor Lefthandthread and Pat McM Associates. When NASA come with a big money, so I'm very happy with that. It's a good size. It's a 12-volt old one, which is lighter and sort of smaller than this thing. This 18-volt. I know you do get proper M12 or Milwaukee, and you do get 12-volt DeWalt, and the M12 stuff's very good. It's very expensive. There's Lewis, wasn't that? Yeah. Hey, Lewis, if there's ever a device that sums up my channel, it's this. I've made various things over the years. Yeah, don't sell your soul for a sander, Big D. That's right. Don't do it. Don't sell your soul for a sander. Yeah. If I go on and tell you that something's good that isn't good, and I lie about it because I've got paid or I get a free tool, and you go and buy that and it's no good, I'm taking money out of your pocket. So it's the same as stealing to me. So no, not doing it. I'm just going to continue in my wacky wee way and doing my things and figuring out stuff as I go. And with the help of you guys, there's Marius. With the help of you guys in this is my Sunday night. This is our Sunday night. The advice that you guys give me is second to none. It's the help that you've given me, Big D, Gazbone, J-Bubs, like without you guys, this wouldn't exist. We'll get to that in a minute. And Pat has helped too. Pat sent stuff. Pat sent the Milwaukee hat. Yeah. Thank you, Lewis. Wasn't that? I don't know if you're a subscriber, but you're welcome here. Anytime, definitely. Don't sell your soul for a universal battery in a lawnmower either. No. Don't do the old switcheroo. If you're a magician in Vegas, and you want to use tactics like doing switcheroos, like whatever. Oh, thank you, Lewis. Begging for subs now. That's where I'm at. Thanks anyway. Hopefully, Lewis, you'll the magic battery. Yes, the magic battery. When you know about the magic battery, a little Parkside going on sale in Lidl tomorrow, Marty. Oh, Marty, that might tie in well what I'm doing. I have to take the wife shopping tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow, and I might con her into letting me go to Lidl. I'll pretend I need some off-brand chocolate or something. There's Kieran. Yes, Kieran. Yeah. We cut off 12-volt tools at Parkside. Old but solid screwdriver. Yeah. What do we see? Lewis, I hope you enjoy the channel. Get on there. There's different playlists. There's lots of battery stuff. There's lots of wacky builds. And there's a one called Workarounds where worked around the conventional repair. You know, there's all sorts of stuff like that. I don't know if you like that. I don't know what you enjoy, but thank you for coming here, and thank you all for coming here. Right, so Martin, if there's one there, I'll buy you one. Definitely, 100%. I have to get a part for a laser off you as well, Martin, but that's another story. I haven't the time. Anyway, so this is one that I use, and people can't believe that I still use this every day in the videos. But if you look in the videos, this is what I'm using. It's either this or this, occasionally this. You know, that's what I'm using to screw stuff apart. So anyway, there's that. So that's the first part of my tool collection that I use. And these are tools tonight that I use all the time. They're not just like I have there's a hammer up there. I don't use a hammer much. And there's a pair of snips there. I don't use them much. I don't do much drilling, and there's a tap and die set. I don't use them, so they're not going to feature tonight. But anyway, so there's the Parkside screwdrivers and private collection, the Milwaukee. Anyway, soldering irons. This is one here. Now we're getting a bit posh here now with this one. I need to charge the battery in that. I've been using that a lot, and I forgot to charge the battery. She is a bit sore in the batteries. That's one criticism of this one. I have done a review on that in the channel anyway. Well, Pat, I'll tell you about the 12-volt Parkside stuff. There's a lot of it has been absent from local Lidls around here of recent months. There was about 6 months ago. 6 months there, you wouldn't have got an 12-volt Parkside battery for loving their money. So I don't know. But I'm definitely going to take an I'll swing by tomorrow. This is the M12 Milwaukee soldering iron. And I like this very, very much. I didn't go down the cheap road. I didn't even realize there was a cheap one available. I've seen recently that Draper do a it's just basically a copy of that. It's just basically a copy of that. But I don't think it would be a good move. I think it's the M12 we need. That needs a bit of a charge. That's what's wrong with that. She has heating though. She has heating. Oh, it's a bit of hot glue stuck to me. The tip cleaner, which is not a good look. That's where smoke's coming out of it. But anyway, them irons is the thermal fuse goes on them, J-Bobs. They are prone to breaking, but I think they can be fixed, which is music to my ears. I do love that soldered iron because when you shut her off like I've done, she keeps the wee light on, so you know the tip's still hot. Battery indicator, she flashes the green light until she's warm enough, and then you know she's ready to go. And she's got this tiltable head on her. I like using the big 4-amp battery on her, the one with the base, because she sits better. She sits better than that. She doesn't topple over in the bench as much. Yeah. There's a 4-amp. Yeah. I got this because this was the only one that I seen that I thought was a good job. I thought it was handy. I have not been disappointed. I use it very, very often. It's my main go-to soldering iron. Don't know if that's going to change. I've got the Malif one here. The Malif one hasn't taken the place of this one yet. These do give trouble, but you know, well, the best thing I learned about soldering irons was, like, if that battery was flat and I hadn't got a 6-amp knockoff battery, so they're dead on too, yeah. But they'll be good enough for the like of that. Best thing about the soldering irons, if you're using soldering irons, always have a backup soldering iron. If the battery's flat or this pack's on, and I'm in the middle of a job, I'm going to be very frustrated. So I'm going to put that battery on the charge for the next time. But I didn't buy that. I wasn't brand loyal there. It wasn't brand loyalty that made me turn to the Milwaukee. I thought, yes, that's a good tool. It sits. I like how it feels. People think it's big. There is custom jobs you can get. You can do up a custom one that's apparently better. But I don't care about that. I like this. And I do like the M12 range, so I might get into that M12 range. And I've ready to get batteries and I've ready to get this. I might start, if I see something nice in the M12 range in Milwaukee, I can always add on. So you never know when there'll be an offer on or something would be going on the deal. We'll see. But I'm very impressed with that. I love that. Very good for a weekend warrior like me. This is the famous Malif one. Now, there's a lot to say about the Malif that I like. That's just going to take the place of my Milwaukee in the short term anyway, but it's got its place in the workshop as a backup one. And I find it very good desoldering because it heats up very quick. It heats up very hot. You can set the temperature really high. Yeah. I like the M12 range. I'm not a fanboy of anything. This doesn't use much battery, this Malif, and it's good to have a backup soldering iron all times, And I've done a review on that soldering iron. Both them soldering irons, if you want to see it. Definitely. I think I'll do my multimeters next, and then I'll do the spot welder. This is the Venlab multimeter. This is one that I got free from Venlab, and I did a review on it. It wasn't a fake review because I really do like it. Nice big display, nice big dial, and it's got an auto shutdown. You see if you accidentally left that on and you were testing batteries and Mrs. Lefthandthread calls you, and she calls you for dinner or whatever, and then dinner turns into dessert, get back, it'll shut down and save the battery life, It's got non-contact voltage checker, it's got a magnetic back, it's got the wee flip out thing that they all have, I suppose. It's got a light on it as well. It's got a light in the top. Where's the light? You can see I don't use the light much, but it's a very good, I don't know, this is it here, isn't it? Oh, there it is there. And there's a lit display if you want that to see. So it's all that. I do like it. Very good little multimeter. I didn't sell out for a multimeter because I actually like this one because I think it's good. And Pat, I'm going to ask somebody in the chat, other than Pat, for a bit of backing in this. Martin is one of these. Martin, what is that multimeter like in your opinion? You've used it. You own one. What do you think? You bought it in the strength of my review. So it didn't sell out for a multimeter. I've actually got meters coming out of my absolute ears. K Wheats sent me two. They're alright, they're good enough. Do I love the K Wheats as much as the Venlab? No, I don't. I like two multimeters. Now, I'm not really a wild big fan of this multimeter, I'll just tell you. No, Draper didn't send me this. Yeah. Multimeter's great. So, this hasn't got as many features as the Venlab. Got a smaller display. It does everything that you would probably need to do. It does more things than I need to do. I'm usually just checking voltage and continuity, so it does that. It hasn't got the light in the top, hasn't got a non-contact voltage checker, but I modified the leads the flat ends, so they fit into batteries, because the little terminals in the batteries can be quite tight in some of them, and I have broke ends off multimeters before, so that's my multimeters. Yeah, that's my multimeter. What do you think, Ed Marty? What do you think of that multimeter? I want the review. I don't want Pat to think that I've sold out to the big man, like other people may have done or may not have. I don't know. Maybe we're just misguided. Who knows? So that's the multimeters. And we'll put the camera down for this, or what will we do? You're fed up looking mildly mug anyway, so we'll see. We'll see, can we move this here? Right, here we are now. Here we go. This is a familiar piece of equipment in the old doctor surgery. It's the spot welder, you know. We weren't going to have any sparks tonight, but we'll give her a wee zap just to see for the fun. For the fun. Anyway, that's for doing this job, putting these together in series or parallel or whatever way they be, you know. Yeah, the Venlab has a good meter, like there's no doubt about it. It's I'm trying to think of the things that I've got free. The Venlab did live up to its billing, you know. It does good. The Malif, I'm happy with the Malif soldering station, but I need more time with it to bond with it to see if it is. I was happy enough with the Venlab right away, you know. But a multimeter to me is not much. It doesn't have to be very exciting, because all I'd be doing with a multimeter is checking voltage and checking continuity. I don't really use it for anything else. They have lots of features that I wouldn't use. But most of them's pretty decent, you know. Most of them do the job. Okay, which I can't remember the leads went belong to that, but anyway. Whatever. That might be them. It might be the K-Weech leads. But anyway. You're a Tillaholic, you've got a problem, BW's Electronic. Parkside has been a gateway drug to all sorts of nonsense for me, you know. What do you do? So there's a spot welder. Regular viewers will know about the spot welder. And if you're new to this stream, if you're new to me, new to my channel, you can go back and watch, after this, you can go back and watch last week's stream where I'll show you what this is for and how these came to be, how this come to be assembled. Because I assembled one of these live last week. So that's what the stream was last week. So spot welder for joining 18650, 21700 cells together to make battery packs. That's that. And on the same vein, we can bring something else in. We have the X-Tar charger. We've been here before, you know. The X-Tar charger has been a good thing as well for charging individual cells. This is a cell I pulled out. This will show an error because this is kaput, you know. There's no voltage in it. It'll probably show an error in that cell. Or show nothing. It doesn't even recognize the cells there. It's that bad. But that's for charging these 18650 cells. That's what that's for. The X-Tar VC4 Plus. But again, not something I was given. That's something I purchased. There's another one out there called an Opus. And the Opus is pretty good. The Opus is really the top one. I purchased this because the Opus wasn't available on Amazon at that time. I read some reviews saying this was the second best or whatever. I think I've actually damaged this one by doing something wacky with it, but I've damaged one of the ports. There's only 3 of these work because I had this port wired up all night to charge a 12-volt battery, a bank of cells and a 12-volt battery, a Milwaukee, and it doesn't really work right now, that bank, because I fried it. But that's that's all my stuff. I kind of wreck stuff too, but that's the kind of doctor I am. I'm sort of Dr. Death for a lot of these things, Again, it's not the top one, but it's up there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The Milwaukee's sort of top of the range. I would consider the top. I don't know what you would consider. This is another custom build, so you can make what you want of that, because that's the kind of stuff I use. It's custom built stuff. It's cheap stuff. It's middle of the road stuff. Sometimes it's good stuff. It depends what it is. If I buy it and it doesn't work, I just stop using it and get something else. There's a theory, and I've heard this said, and there's maybe some logic in it, that if you're putting together a workshop and tooling it all up and you're doing it all in the one go, like you're just building the workshop, but not all the tools that you think you're going to need, and just putting them all on. Apparently, what you do is use the cheap ones. Put it together with all the cheap stuff. Put it all together with the cheap stuff, and when the cheap stuff breaks, replace the stuff with the good stuff. So the stuff you're not using hasn't cost you too much. Because if you're going to stock up everything you think you might need, there's going to be things you don't need. But I don't know. See? What are we saying here now? J-Bubs, as I have bits for you, battery building holders. And yeah. Oh, I sent me an email, surely. I need to send you something as well if you want to check your email. It also does the internal resistance. Guys, I want to ask you about that. I'm going to show you something now. Internal resistance would be something that I would be, not sure. Would be the answer. If I put this cell on, this one here, this VC4 Plus, is supposed to show me the internal resistance, the AR. This cell might not be that good. According to, I don't know if you can see that, but that's showing me internal resistance of 92 milliohms and that, but that battery isn't accurate, because I took that. These cells come out of an old the G series Makita batteries, old DIY one. This VC4 Plus tells me that internal resistance is 92. If I take it out and put it in again, it might change what the internal resistance is. It's saying it's 27 now. So I've been told, and I kind of sort of believe it, that this VC4 Plus, that the internal resistance measurement isn't totally accurate. 92 is high. I think it's over 50 is bad, isn't it? It's over 50 is bad. You can confirm that with me if you can, Because I'm only sort of half now. If that makes any sense. 92 is high. 100 is bad. I send you email. Yeah. If you want that thing I was going to send you, J-Bubs, definitely we will do that. I'll send it to you happily. Getting the crap back, definitely. But I just would say these chargers, I don't know if the internal resistance gauge is accurate. They're a great little charger. They're a fantastic little charger. I fixed one the other day. It charged them up nicely. used a couple of reclaimed cells. There's Tools and Games. Good to see you. Yeah. Would you see that brown cell? Where did I put it? That came out of the G series. I don't know why they even kept them. They're still discharging those cells. I suppose I thought I was ever making a wee lamp or something that might do the job. Your charger is test leads. Well, that would make sense. That would make sense. Yes. That's the one I should have got. But we'll get there, guys. You know, these brown cells, like I was go back to that, they're LG cells. They're 1.5s or something, 1,500 milliamps. They're low amperes that they start with. And they were going, but they were knackered. So I upgraded your man's 2 batteries to Samsung 20, I think they're 20S's, the wee blue ones that are in the flexible 6 amp. Yeah. So I kept them. They're taking a full charge, but they don't make a good battery for power tools at all. I send it to me later. Don't worry about it, J-Bubs. Just stay in touch anytime. Anything you need, guys, just let me know. I'll try my best to help you, you know. We've built a wee bit of a thing here on a Sunday night, and I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's a great little thing we've got going here. And I really enjoyed last week. I enjoyed last week building the spot welder. I had a good old chat with us to finish up. We talked about a great deal many things, so there's that. Anyway. Power supply. I don't know if you can see it there. That's the power supply. It's a DC power supply that you set for voltage, and you set her to go, and it brings the battery up slower than maybe a jump start or something. That's really what that's about. We've covered that on the channel before. Some of you know and some of you don't. But that's grand. What else? What else have we got? We'll go back down here again. Now we're going into territory that's in the cheap range. Got a Draper Stormforce plug-in heat gun. And why would I buy a Draper Stormforce heat gun? Well, we're in a workshop environment. Having a plug-in one is not a disadvantage. That's going to invade the surgery at a bus load. That'll be some crack. Anyway, so I went for a plug-in, and it was a money-saving option, to be honest. I did look at the Draper one, or the DeWalt one. Sorry, this is the Draper. I did look at the DeWalt 18 volt or 20 volt for you guys in the USA, and I did try it out. I put a battery in it, and you know, it wasn't the best. It was. These plug-in ones are far superior. The heat guns that are going off batteries are not tremendous. I could have went down the Parkside road and bought a Parkside cordless one, but in a workshop environment, I didn't need a cordless one. It's not for all I use it. I use it maybe for about a heat shrink if a solder a wire, you know. So it's not the most popular thing that I use, but it does be used quite regular. And I think it does go up to between 400 and 600 degrees. It does heat up quick. It is warm. It does work like it does. You need to be careful with it, I find, because if you're doing about a heat shrink and you're near all our wires, you will melt the living shit out of them. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. It is not in the professional range. You could go for something really fancy, I suppose. But I just thought to go any higher was sort of a waste of money in this case. Yeah, I think the Milwaukee, the DeWalt, and any of those name brands battery heat guns are a waste of money. That's my personal feeling on it, because because they are they're not up to it yet. I just don't think we're there yet. Heat gun's okay. It's probably all right for heat shrink. It's all right for heat shrink. There goes the neighborhood there, doesn't it? That's right. It's all right for heat shrink, but it still was. It really came down to price, yes, the way I did it. I was cutting costs. Yeah. Does anyone know a decent charger that you charge to 50% storage charge? I don't know. Yeah, an old gas soldering iron. Yeah, funny I'm lying about there, but them battery ones would probably be good enough for me for what I'm doing. But they're not going to have the same heat output as the corded ones. It's just one of them things. I just thought they were dear. I just couldn't get myself to get over that financial barrier mentally. Like it's like a lot of things are more expensive the day you buy it. And if you use it, it's not expensive after that. It's just like whatever. You know it's there and it's very useful. It's one of those sort of things. So that was a cheap that's where I cheaped out that one. And also this was an impulse buy. Yeah. This was an impulse buy. It is a Parkside wire stripper. And this cost me $3.99. I was in the Lidl store and I seen it sitting there at $3.99. I thought, I have to buy it. If it's any good at all, if it's any use at all, it's going to be all right. So I thought I'll just take a punt on it. £3.99. I thought, why not? It's quite good. And the reason why I think it's good, I think it's a copy of like an Ipex or an Ipex one. There's an Ipex one out there, and it's got all the stuff that this has on it. It's got all the features. It's just exactly the same. This was only $3.99, and for me, the Weekend Warrior Extreme, I think it's just good enough. Must get a bit of wire to see. Give you a bit of a demo. There's little holes there, it closes on, and you select the right size and you strip it off like that. You know? You can cut it off. You have one to cut it off as well. You know? Whatever. And you have this here to strip a cable. Let's see if we can get a bit of a cable for you. Here's a bit of a cable. Strip the cable off. You know, and then you can strip the wires then. It's 3-core, that one. Nice. So there's that. There's a little thing to slice the cable up this way, you know, but I don't use that. It's quite handy. It's one of my go-tos. I do use this very often. Anytime I'm doing any sort of wiring at all. Any wiring at all. I haven't seen them in the store too often. But if you're doing any sort of wiring work and you're only out like a part-timer like me or a weekend warrior, I recommend this strongly. This was only $3.99, but it's worth a lot more to me. Hairdryer for heat shrink would do the job. It would be cheaper than the DeWalt heat gun. Yep. Pat, what you did wrong is not using the hairdryer for the heat shrink. What you done wrong is getting caught. Just remember that. First rule of doing anything, don't get caught. Getting caught is what causes the bother. Right, how are we for time? We're doing well. This is something that I bought. I thought, yeah. This is a wacky little vise I bought from Parkside. And this is a very specific sort of use for me. Very specific. to a lot of things that I do. I'll put her on the bench. She clamps onto the bench. It's portable, it's removable. It's not a permanent vise. You just clamp it onto the bench when you're using it and you put it away. If you're short of room, it's a good thing, you know. It wouldn't be for any heavy applications. Did you put Land Rover parts in the dishwasher? I wish I had the guts to do them sort of things, Pat. You are my hero. There's things I look at out here and I think, just the dishwasher would make some job of that, you know. But you know, fair play to you, Pat. Did she catch you? If you didn't get caught, you are truly my hero. So anyway, we're getting near that. This is the vise. Dishwasher is tremendous for cleaning parts. This is a little Parkside vise. It's got a swivel feature on it. You know, you can swivel it, you know, whatever. Let's see if we can slacken that a little bit. It's not very strong. It's not very sophisticated, you know. I'll tighten this up again. It swivels. I don't really use a swivel feature. Clamps onto the bench down here. What I use it for is these here. If I'm going to join cells together, I find it very handy. It's the best thing for that. And you have the rubber jaws. It's not very strong, but it does that job very well. So I find it very useful. It's good for putting them on too, the reclaiming cells. Like what I do is maybe I'll give them a buff with a Dremel so they solder well, you know. Aye. Very good, very well done, Pat. That is great work you did there, Pat. I'm very, very impressed. I'm suitably impressed. That is amazing. So that was about, I can't remember what that was. That might have been £17. It might have been less. I'm not sure. I don't even remember what it was. But it's not the most not used every day, but it's very useful for that job. Another thing, and now I didn't cheap out in this one, but there was a reason I didn't cheap out on it as well. That's thanks to you guys, some of you guys in this channel. This is the Dremel 3000. I'm glad I didn't cheap out in this one. You guys, you're loving the garage now, good man. I'm glad I didn't cheap out in this one because I actually broke this. What I done with this, I broke the little I actually had to fix it again, but this is fixed again. But the little catch, little slackening catch, you know, that what would you say? Can't even speak now. This happens to speak for an hour. Can you speak no more? Little guy that holds that so you can slacken it and take it off. So that was broke, and I fixed it. I ordered the part. The part was very expensive for what it was, but I'm glad I fixed it. I don't use a little spanner to slacken anymore because I was too heavy-handed. It was myself that broke it. But this Dremel 3000, the money was donated by my followers, my subscribers in this channel one night because they seen me. I was building a battery and I was cutting something with tin snips. I think they just says, no, this man needs a Dremel. So this is why I got the Dremel, thanks to you guys, some of you guys there. You donated to the channel, and I think it was, if I get this wrong, don't be too hard on me. I think it was Pat that recommended this one. I think it was Pat that recommended this model. and I haven't been disappointed. Now, Big D was telling me he had one of the Parkside ones, and it was a bit shit, to be quite honest. So I'm glad I didn't go down the Parkside road in this one. I'm not sure how the cordless ones of these are doing. I can see the advantage of cordless ones, but here in the workshop, this kind of works all right. It's the side of the bench, and there's a little holder, and I have the holder mounted in the wall and just mounted up there, and it's there when I need it. So thanks you guys for donating to the channel to give me that, and it's been great. It's been a good thing. It's been one that I should have knew that I needed, and I wouldn't be without it now. So I didn't cheap out in that. So I'm a mixture of cheap stuff I've made financial decisions, stuff I've just went for the one that I thought was the good one, which in this case, and I suppose this case, some of the custom builds and some of the Parkside stuff has worked well. I've heard that you want to see the size of the wee thing that was on there. It was broke. It was dear for what it was. I think it was about a tenner, but it was all right. The Parkside version of this, you heard it here. Do not buy the Parkside version of this. Buy the Dremel. Spend the money on this one. Don't cheap out in this one. Cheap out in the heat gun. Cheap out in the screwdriver. Cheap out in the wire stripper. Build your own Milwaukee. I won't sue you, I promise. You know, so I think that's near enough all I've got that I use regularly. I've got other stuff. I've actually got a 4-inch Parkside vise as well that I got for about £29. I think it was £29. Let's see if we can see it here. You've seen it before anyway. You guys have watched the channel. Oh dear, that's a terrible shot. I don't know if you can see that. It's a 4-inch Parkside vise. It's cut money's an old chuck off a drill, and it was only about $29.99, and I'm well pleased with it. I don't know. Yeah. It's supposed to be the slowest charge for battery storage interiors. Batteries are lower fully charged when stored. They deteriorate faster internally. I've heard something about that before. It might have been yourself that told me, BW's Electronic. I don't know. But I know. Yeah. I know that if you put 18650 batteries, lithium batteries away, the battery packs away, and they're low, they can actually drop below chargeable voltage, and then it's jump start, and it's all this nonsense, that I do. I think it's a 3.6 volt. That'd be about right. I like to see it. It was actually a 40 volt lawnmower battery that had 10 of these in it. 10 of these LG cells. This one was stopping the power getting from one end of the battery pack to the other because the internal resistance had internals had completely shut down. It must have overheated. There was 10 of these 2,500 milliamp cells, and the rest of them were all sitting at 3.59, which was a good voltage. And I had an old Samsung 25R INR 18650, and I just put that on it, and I was sitting at 3.59 as well, which was a stroke of luck. So I did that today, which was weird. It was a weird job to be doing on a Sunday and then me going out. So I was supposed to do it tomorrow, but I just got interested in it and ended up doing it. You can see this one's completely shut down. This one's completely shut down. See if we get the probes on it properly. Well, that's finished. I wonder, there's a thing you're supposed to be able to do with these. I don't recommend it. You're supposed to be able to reach in and pop the little, there's a little internal fuse that blows and disconnects the whole contraption. Disconnects the whole battery, like internal connection. And if you reach in and push it down, it's supposed to reactivate the battery. But don't do it. I know you know. You're not supposed to do that, and I'm not going to do it. But you can push down the internal, reconnect it, but it won't fire again if it overheats, and you could have actually a fire in your house, and it could burn down your house and your whole family, and everybody could die. So don't do that. Is that good, Gallon? Yes. That's the best I can do for you. Don't do it. I know. Yeah. That's why you don't do that. Because you only get one shot. It only fires off once. It's not as if you're resetting it that it'll go again. That's ball talk, is it? We'll do it for the crack anyway, but I'm not going to use this cell for here. What I'm going to use this cell for? I'll do it for the crack. What do I care? I don't know. If I push that down on there, there's a little bit that's dished up. If I push that down, the voltage should reconnect, allegedly. Yeah. Let's see what we got here now. Yep. I did. Tin bucket. Yes, tin bucket. Yeah. That's one for the tin bucket, Martin. Yes. I promise I will put that in the tin bucket. There's reasons why you're not supposed to do this. And the reason is that failsafe will only fire once. So it's 3.39 volts. And that was dead. Don't know if you can see that. See in there. You push that little part down that's on there. You don't have to push very hard either. I'm going to put it in the tin bucket because I want Martin to sleep well tonight. That's going into the tin bucket. Because it says in these are good, like. It says, got a risk of disfiguring, fire, explosion injury. Fire is not for consumer use, OEM only. If you can see this label, do not use this battery. So anybody can see this label, don't use that battery. If you can see this label, do not use this battery. That's interesting. Visit lgkm.com for more information. I want to know how to blow up one of these safely so I don't set myself on fire. Next time you use a plastic spoon, I always do it wrong, don't I? Yeah. I think what you mean that I could have cross-connected with this. Sort of, yeah, but I know what you mean. But sure, it's all the fun of the stream, isn't it? Happy? No, there won't going to be no sparks of that. That's how you activate a cell, but don't do it. Because yeah. Even if you haven't done that, your battery can go on fire. I've started to throw more of these into this tin bucket because it's dangerous. It is dangerous. Maybe I play fast in this, and sometimes when I'm messing about with batteries, I'm not afraid. Maybe I should be afraid. I don't know. Yeah. I don't want anybody to get into any difficulty or any fires or any disfigured injuries over the head on my silly little YouTube channel, my wacky wee channel. So I would say the things that happen in this channel are for entertainment only, and I do them so you don't have to. You can have a laugh at me. I take the chance so you don't have to. Quarter filled with water. I don't know. I have a fire extinguisher as well. So we'll see how we get on. We've been alright so far. So far, so good. We've been lucky so far. I don't know, I've got a mental blockage, Pat, when it comes to the batteries. It just doesn't seem to bother me. I'm not saying, I'm not saying at all, look at me, the big brave man fixing the batteries. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying. It's not fake bravado. I just don't feel the fear. I don't feel the fear anymore. I think maybe it's because I've done it so much, it just doesn't bother me anymore. And I'm aware of the danger. It's kind of like the way I would describe it. If you're going out in your car, suppose you're going out in your car like we all do every day. You think, oh Jesus, people die in these things. There are people who've went out in these and have died. They've crashed and had a fiery death. I think about fixing the battery the same way as I think about driving the car. When you're out in the car, you try not to drive out in front of anything. It could happen. You try and stay to your side of the road. When fixing the battery, try not to puncture a cell. Try not to cross connect them, Yeah. Gas mixed batteries when he had the laptops and they got hot when he was using them to melt batteries. Pat saying it's like a message asking about the fear of heights. I'm not scared of heights, I'm fear of falling. Well, Pat, I am scared of heights, but I'm not afraid of falling. I'm afraid of the sudden stop when you finish falling. That's what I'm afraid of. Living in the danger zone is you have a shock. Only thing keeping you going on the wild side. Oh, you have to eat. You have to try something. I got really interested in batteries 2 years ago when I started to mess about with them. I've got advice from some of you guys and I've figured out some stuff myself. I don't have all the answers. I've got to a certain level. That's half a day with the Undertaker. Or some other professional wrestler. And you mentioned that I'm sort of trying to keep the positive side. I just think of the old professional wrestler called Undertaker. When you talk about Undertaker, I don't actually think about the actual Undertaker because I don't think about that. Right, we're 1:15 in. We've got an hour 15 stream, and I didn't wreck anything yet. I did do a dangerous job in a battery cell, and I showed you all my tools that I use on a regular basis. So I think that's not bad. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Or anything else, guys? Thanks for joining the stream as usual. All the usual guys are here. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I have no idea what I'm going to do next week. We're going to have to think about it. I'll see what comes in. If something nice comes on, or something good comes on to do, I might do that. You have to stay on the positive side fixing batteries. You have to not connect the positive and the negative side of the same battery. You see this battery here, like if I put a strip here and a strip here, I would be connecting the positive to the negative. I'll stay on the positive side. Yeah. Basic battery maintenance, I suppose that's what I'm doing. Yeah. But I got interested. I did think long and hard before I opened the battery. It was maybe 2 months before I really opened the battery and thought about it. I thought about it and studied it up and did a bit of research before I opened the battery. And I got there, and I figured out that you needed to spot weld rather than solder. I have soldered on these cells. I don't recommend it. Fred Dibna said the same thing about his asked about falling off a chimney. I suppose that's the same thing. I wouldn't get up in a chimney. Fred Dibna might not have been interested in fixing a battery. I don't know. But that's kind of the way I think about it. I suppose Fred Dibna felt that he had to get up in a chimney. The way we all have to drive our cars to get anywhere. I felt that I had to open batteries. I felt that compulsion. I felt that draw towards batteries. I don't know. I just sort of went a bit battery mad. Like I don't know how many battery videos I have on my channel. Long form, I don't even know. I might have 36 Milwaukee battery videos. I don't know. There's a playlist there. But I just went a bit battery mad. And I don't know what's next for the channel, but we're going to keep going. And this Sunday surgery is something I wouldn't miss. And I think it's a good thing for all of us. 7 flashing lights and it's a midlife. That's exactly what it is. Pat's got the nail on the head there. They're tools and stuff. Pat sent me a video of tools and stuff. Guy from New Zealand. He's got it sort of figured out. He's got it sort of figured out what the little things mean. But you need a genuine battery. If you put a knockoff board on it, it does away with all that flashing light stuff. Big D. I've corrupted Big D. Big D was a good, sensible repairman. Was always fixing stuff right, doing the right thing. Doing the right thing, fixing all this good stuff, doing good work. And then I came along and started to fix batteries, and I corrupted him. And then he had to try and fix batteries as well, and he realised that it was a pursuit of a madman. But I think he's gone mad. I think he's gone mad as well. So I've corrupted him. Single flat. That anyone knows what single flashing light. When you need to put the charger, it doesn't charge, you call Doctor Lefthandthread. That's what it means. I did get a lot of joy fixing the Milwaukee batteries. And there's my M12 charged now, so that's good. So my soldering iron will be good for business the next day. I'm waiting on quite a lot of parts to come in, and there was another guy. Yeah, I had a video on the codes. That's right. There was another guy supposed to bring me a little quad, a little child's quad to convert. He says it's 12 volt. Have to convert it to DeWalt batteries, 18 volt or 20 volt, whatever you call them, batteries. So I'll do a voltage dropper, and I'll put a low discharge cutout board on it as well. And that's what I'll do if he brings it. So he hasn't brought it yet. I actually put him off the other day because I had about 10. I had 4 healthy batteries, which I was only able to recover one, and I had 10 DeWalt batteries here, and one of them was completely banjaxed. Another 9. The other 9 was there's nothing wrong with him. It was his charger was the problem, really. Yeah. Yeah. Corrupting your children as well. Doctor Lefthandthread has been the ruination of men and boys all across the globe. What do you do? You know. Paul Cook, good to see you on the stream. Glad you can make it. Paul Cook's another regular. Thank you very much, guys. We've done a good old rundown, and I suppose you're asking the question: can you do reasonably good work with cheaping out in tools sometimes? I think the answer is yes. But you can't cheap out every time. Buy the good Dremel. Maybe buy this, but this is not foolproof. Some of these do break. But I think it's still worth buying. So, what do you think, guys? Not a successful stream. There wasn't as much industrial light madness tonight. We'll have to get something good for you. You'll have to get something a wee bit mad next week. I don't know what it'll be. I'll have to figure it out. I might get to Lidl tomorrow too to see if there's anything. I think you could buy and take apart to see if it is any good. We could do that. Yeah, Bob the Builder. There's always the option of building your own tools out of scrap, you know. That was a £14 drill set that I bought on eBay. I can't remember what this wee adapter was. And I had them 12 batteries. I think that's £21. The Milwaukee cost £21, I think. If I'm not wrong. There is a video on the Milwaukee how I built it, how it come to be. It's an older video now. It's gone back 8 months, I would say 9 months at least. Oh, BW's electronic at the lawn tractor fixed. He melted the pulley off her. But thank you all. Thanks to BW's electronic, J-Bubs, Paul Cook, Big D, of course, Pat McMahon, Martin Kelly, Marty as well. There's Gaz. Did I mention J-Bubs? There's Doggy G as well. Marius was there as well a while ago. So thank you guys for turning out for me on a Sunday, because there's Tools and Games. Forgot him. Sorry about that, Tools and Games. Thank you for checking me out too, Tools and Games, and keep up your work. Keep making the videos. You'll find your niche. You'll find what works for you. Just keep battering away. Do whatever you want and enjoy it. And you'll be dead on. I'll send you a picture of the Makita DeWalt. Definitely. I look forward to it, J-Bubs. And we'll do it all again next week. And I should have a video out. I have a video out there. Who do I see? What time is it? Must be half an hour ago now. It's about a 1 key wrench that the magic smoke escaped from. and she stopped working. So I had a wee look at what was wrong with that, and I'm going to fix that hopefully within the next week, and I'll have a video out. I'll have a repair video hopefully on that. I got the parts ordered for it. So thank you all for tuning in, and I must say good night.